High Modernism in Veneto.
History lesson, a brief history of Veneto.
Veneto history and culture starts nearly 7,000 years ago in the hills of Verona, located in northern Italy. It is now one of the 20 regions found in modern-day Italy. The Venetians created for themselves a powerful political and economic unit because of their pristine location between the Mediterranean area and northern and eastern Europe.
In order to help ward off invasion from strong outsiders, they made an alliance with the Roman Empire in the 3rd century. When the Romans made their way to fully absorb the Venetian region, they established it as one of their major trading centers. The fall of Rome came because of internal political struggles and the inevitable invasion of the Huns, Lombards, and the Visigoths that conquered and broke apart the empire.
The Venetians now had to fend for themselves, leaving them nowhere else to go but to scatter to the vacant lagoons and swamps that are known as Chioggia, Grotto, and Venice, Veneto's capital.
Fast forwarding a little bit, Venice becomes an even more powerful trading center, and with trade comes the sprinkling of different cultures from all around the Mediterranean and beyond. There are many wonders found in Venice from all different architecture styles. This is what greatly adds beauty to Venice. The Basilica de Santa Maria is rich with the cultural remnants of the Byzantine hands who claimed the region right after the fall of the Roman Empire.
Venice in the 12th century had its own version of the Gothic style with its distinct quatrefoils, pointed arches, and lancet windows that can be seen in the famous Ca' d'Oro. Renaissance and Baroque architecture that followed the simplified Gothic style can also be seen all over the Venice Canal.
The bully Napoleon. Napoleon reigned over Venice for about a decade and vastly changed the face of the city by destroying existing buildings and land to build monuments in his honor.
After he dismembered the existing Venetian style, there came a cloud of confusion that stopped any advancement and resulted in new buildings being made with a mixture of past styles. Now it is the beginning of the 20th century, and Venice, like before, is opening up to receive the ideas of the rest of the world with the establishment of the Venice Biennale. The Venice Biennale is an exposition dedicated to contemporary art.
When it first began, it tackled the post-fascist idea that pushed for a neoclassical style, with design and art ideas coming from all different nations. These modernist ideas all came from outside forces, influencing greatly the artists of Venice, until a Venetian native established his own take on high modernism. Carlo Scarpa was surrounded by the antiquity of Italy all his life, which influenced the development of his own style. Scarpa's attention to detail is credited to his work as a glassblower in his early career.
We can see this in his outstanding work in the Olivetti showroom, commissioned by the Olivetti Company, who manufactured typewriters. Scarpa took the overshadowed space and lightened it by adding windows, light fixtures, and installing the interior with transparent materials that utilized as much natural light to fill in the space.
Using the materials available to experiment at the time, Scarpa used concrete, steel, plaster, brass, wood, glass, and others that showcase different textures all around the showroom that somehow work together and flow in contrast.
What is also significant to point out is the juxtaposition of materials found in joinery that creates magical moments of interest.
Mid-century modern architecture was all about using concrete. From the Schindler House to Scarpa's Italian Courtyard Pavilion, we find the product of playful concrete. Scarpa was asked to build a transition space that looks like it defies gravity. Scarpa thoughtfully uses semicircles to help filter natural light to the pavilion in order to create a romantic space for mingling.
Each pillar stands only halfway under the edge of the canopy. The actual load bearing is carried through a small steel sphere that rests on a stand set atop each pillar. The plants growing from the top of the pillars blur these supports so that the massive roof canopy appears to hover just above the load-bearing pillars. The date was November 4th, 1966. A massive flood had arisen, 6 feet and 3 inches. It destroyed and damaged the vast majority of shops, ground floors, buildings, and valuables.
Many architects from around the world came together to restore the years of culture that was washed away. This then created the many building codes and laws of preservation used to preserve the resilient culture found in Venice today.
Continued modernist work. Santiago Calatrava is an engineer and an architect who resembles the technical sophistication that is found in Scarpa's work. He is known for his gravity-defying bridges that bring new life to various places around the world. He, like Scarpa, always seems to push the boundaries of connections. His work has added controversy to his name, which is a small price to pay for innovative thinking.
Calatrava has made a renowned contribution to Venice modernism with his construction of the Calatrava Bridge, also known as the Constitution Bridge. Bridges are an important thread in the urban fabric of Venice, being that they do more than connect alternative parts of the city. They are landmarks that stay engraved in the minds of all who enter Venice, both visitor and native.
Fully embracing the past, the Calatrava Bridge incorporates Istrian stone while still using steel and glass to bring Venice a respectful taste of the 21st century. Like Scarpa, there is a respect given to the antiquity surrounding any new addition to a historically loaded area. These two architects have created important precedents that demonstrate respect to the past, but also embrace the future.